This is Alex Goff with Flow Rugby. I'm with Will Snape-Rogers, and we're at the Atavus headquarters in Seattle, Washington. There's a football helmet behind us. There are actually several football helmets behind us. Am I allowed to touch the Seahawks helmet?
Sure.
I mean, if I get like fingerprints on it, I might get in trouble. But there's a Seahawks helmet, and that's because Atavus works on rugby and football. Working with football teams, teaching rugby techniques in terms of tackle, and we talked to Rex Norris about that. Will, you work on the rugby side. Is there any spillover there in terms of working with the football people?
Well, the spillover is the coaching philosophy and the way in which we believe that that we can influence our sports through positive coaching philosophies. So that's really the main ways in which the football and rugby cross over. Other than the content is very specific to a certain skill on the tackle, but the football team is also using video analytics and a lot of data to analyse the defensive line, as well as giving input onto the tackle. But the skill of the tackle itself and the coaching philosophy around that, that's fairly similar.
In terms of the rugby side, Atavus isn't just working on coaching technique or saying this is how you apply yourself in the ruck. I mean, there are teams. Atavus is sponsoring teams from under 18 level to senior level. The Atavus Seattle women's team won the Club Sevens championships, so there's a lot of sort of high performance, but at the same time you work on camps that are like, here's a rugby ball, come on kids, let's go have some fun.
Yep.
On the elite level, you have sort of an overarching philosophy in terms of, or goal. What do you want to accomplish in terms of running these elite level teams and even the elite level assemblies and camps?
Well, so just to clarify the difference, the Atavus Academy itself is the high performance academy in Seattle. We also have a partnership with the Utah Lions for the Atavus Academy in Utah, and they're providing high performance environments to help create the next Eagles. Like, that's our goal, is to put players in an environment where they can aspire to be international rugby players. So that's the Atavus Academies, and they're localized, they're 2 local locations. As a kind of provider of rugby development and growth, we work with USA Rugby to provide the USA Rugby Academy camps around the country, which are available to all levels, where we have national team coaches there, as well as Atavus coaches and USA Rugby Academy coaches there, just to provide those environments to meet people at their level and to provide them with the understanding of what the skill expectations are in order to progress and become a better rugby player.
And I think that speaks to an issue. Is people say, what does Atavus do? I think maybe there's still a confusion for some people is, what do they do? Are they elite high performance? Are they introduce the game to people, which are both hugely valuable? Well, actually, it's sort of both, but they're separate arms of it. Running a team, whether it's out of an academy or not, is a different animal altogether from developing players. Is there a hierarchy, or is it day to day? Today, we're talking about 8-year-olds, and we're going to get them running with a ball. What's the pecking order?
So the honest truth is, there is no pecking order. Like, the uniting theme is the growth of the game of rugby and improving the game of rugby. So whether that be a high performance player looking to become an Eagle, or someone that's never played the game for the first time, they are equally as important. There's a lot more people that are just learning to play the game for the first time and developing to become the best rugby player they can be, than being elite high performers. We just, it's our role to try and provide an environment for all of those people to flourish and be met at the level that they're at.
Okay. So if you see, you go to a camp.
Yep.
And you see a 13, 14-year-old player who is just got all the tools and appears to love the game. So, great. Yeah. This kid is going to go places. Can you do something for that? Can you get him or her through all those stages?
Well, yeah, throughout the stage of that player's life, absolutely. How Atavus will do that will be providing the USA Rugby Academy for USA Rugby for these players to visit the local USA Rugby Academy when it's in their town as a training camp, the 2-day training camp, or the resident camp where they can go for 3 to 4 days to improve. But also, if they're a good player and they want to get into a localized academy environment, hey, we want to work with all of the local partners. It is our role just to provide those facilities and the education for the players so they can go on and take those things with them. So if we ran a camp in New York or New Jersey, for example, that player should be going to Play Rugby USA camps. They should be going to be part of the Northeast Academy. Right, when we come into the town again and we provide the USA Rugby Academy for them, then great, let's come and touch base with them, do some tracking of them, see where they're at, offer them some more advice on their skill development, then they go back to their individualized academy.
All right, so you keep an eye on them if you can. Right?
Well, so Atavus's role is a service provider for USA Rugby.
Yeah.
So USA Rugby is keeping an eye on the player. Yeah. We're giving them all the data for them to follow the player. What we do is make sure that there's a camp, an environment available to them, whether that be the USA Rugby Academy training camps and residency camps, or they're working with a local team when we're not in town. That's our role. I mean, obviously, because we have several national team coaches on staff, right. We can track the players almost personally. We get invested in working with those players. But it's not just the players that we're looking to invest in. Atavus is, outside of the USA Rugby Academy, is looking to grow the development resources for coaches. And that's what's really exciting about the areas that we're going to now, is that we're being able to provide coaching education resources as well.
Nice. Now, what about a player who feels like he or she is so close to a national team looking at 2021 and thinking, I just need something to get me over that hump, and maybe I'll become a professional. Maybe I'll become an Eagle. Mm-hmm. What does Atavus do for them?
Well, the USA Rugby Academy at each camp has a academy track and an Eagle track. Now, the Eagle track are Eagle pool players that can come and develop with the national team coach there, but they're at the same location as an academy track player. So what we're doing there is providing the facility that if an academy track player, this player that you're talking about, this 2021 player who hasn't had that exposure before, if they come within 30 minutes of being at this camp, we'll see that they are, hey, let's put them in the higher performance group and see if they can hang there. And if they can hang there, then they'll be in front of the national team coaches that will say, hey, we've missed this player. And that's, talent identification is a key part of what the USA Rugby Academy does, as well as player development.
We bring them in there, and if they don't hang, now they know.
Well, now they know where they need to get to.
Yeah.
And that's the level setting is really important. So, an understanding of what you need to progress to the next level, and that's why was what I love about the USA Rugby Academy camps, is that they meet you at your level, but they also push you to understand what is required to go to the highest level.
So, if somebody wants to know more about what they can get out of Atavus, and you just learned this a lot, where can they go? Well,
they can start by going to the website at rugby.atavus.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, most social channels, and we're regularly posting updates on the events. You should also go to the USA Rugby homepage and learn more about the USA Rugby Academy.
Good. You can also see goffrugbyreport.com, and even below this video in the intro section, there are links there to get more out of the camps, the clinics, the academy, learn more about the teams that you could play for Atavus. And are we seeing anything, is there going to be seeing anything new coming up, or are we sort of consolidating what you're working on right now?
I mean, the biggest thing that we're looking to offer the community right now is our coach development piece. Right. So at every USA Rugby Academy event, we have coach education, so coaches from the community can come in. We give a seminar the night before the USA Rugby Academy camp and show coaches what we're going to be coaching the next day, what our coaching philosophy is, and then they can join us the next day with them, work hand by hand with our coaches to see what we're providing. That's providing coach education, and because we had this conversation with USA Rugby that USA Rugby is certification and some education, but between certifications, coaches need more. Like, I want more as a coach.
Sure.
So Atavus is working with coaches across the country to make sure that we can provide ongoing mentorship to help them improve and just answer their questions.